Hey gearheads, and welcome back to Techbeast TV. Get ready for an absolutely epic showdown between Mother Nature and some of the most powerful machines on the planet. We're talking colossal forwarders swallowed by mud, precision excavators ripping out stubborn stumps, and jungle crews using pure grit. Stick around, you won't believe the power on display. All right, folks, kicking things off, we dive headfirst into the thick of it, literally. Check out this absolute unit. A massive yellow forwarder, probably something like a John Deere or Ponce, caught dead in its tracks by some seriously nasty spring thaw mud that looks like melted chocolate ice cream with extra goo. Now let's smoothly shift gears from that brute struggle against the elements to a display of calculated precision and efficiency. Feast your eyes on this versatile Valtra tractor, a familiar sight on farms worldwide. Okay, hold on a second. What exactly do we have here? This ain't your standard off-the-lot machine you see every day. That's for absolute sure. Behold this heavily laden, custom-built forestry tractor, painted a distinct reddish-brown color that really stands out against the green foliage. Just chilling silently on the cleared forest floor, like it owns the place and is waiting patiently for its moment. That trailer behind it looks like it's about to groan audibly under the sheer, immense weight of that stacked timber. From those massive forest giants capable of hauling entire sections of trees, we pivot to, well, the stubborn, deeply rooted leftovers that refuse to leave quietly. Check out the Mighty Mite in action. A bright yellow Caterpillar 305 ECR mini excavator going toe-to-toe, or rather bucket to root, with a gnarly, unyielding tree stump. Don't let the compact size fool you for a second. These modern mini excavators pack a surprising, disproportionate punch, typically boasting engines around 45 horsepower and delivering impressive hydraulic force through their arms and buckets, especially considering their relatively lightweight class, which is around 5.5 tons for this model. Its zero tail swing design is an absolute game changer, making it perfect for maneuvering precisely in the tight, confined spots often found in forestry clearing operations or during landscaping cleanup after the main logging is done. Leaving the satisfying stump battle behind, we head into the frozen, snow-covered north, where advanced technology reigns supreme over the elements. Snow? What snow? This absolute beast of a machine, the tracked Cat 501 harvester, doesn't even seem to notice the picturesque winter wonderland surrounding it. It's built for exactly this kind of environment, equipped with a menacing, often brightly colored processing head, like this vibrant red one, designed for optimal visibility against the snow. This complex machine is efficiency incarnate, a true marvel of modern forestry engineering, designed to maximize productivity in harsh conditions. Watch it deftly grab a felled log with its powerful grapple arms, zip, high-torque hydraulic feed rollers aggressively yank the entire tree stem through razor-sharp delimbing knives integrated into the head, stripping away all the branches faster than you can even blink. Then, whack, the integrated saw bar, essentially a powerful, hydraulically driven chainsaw, instantly bucks the cleaned stem into perfect, pre-programmed lengths optimized for the mill. Later, it can switch focus entirely, utilizing a specialized felling head attachment to take down standing timber with incredible speed and precision. These tracked harvesters, often pushing well over 170 horsepower and built on robust, stable undercarriages designed for navigating uneven, snowy ground. From the high-tech processing line deep in the snowy woods, we move downstream to the bustling, muddy logistics hub of the operation. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the log landing, the bustling, often incredibly muddy heart and soul of the entire logging operation. And ruling over this temporary kingdom of stacked timber is the colossal Komatsu WA47 wheeled log loader. Just take a moment to appreciate the sheer scale of this bright yellow machine. That specialized log grapple attached to the front looks like a giant metal claw straight out of a Hollywood sci-fi movie, specifically engineered with wide jaws and powerful hydraulics to manhandle enormous, awkwardly shaped logs with both confidence and surprising precision. These powerful workhorse loaders boast robust engines often exceeding 270 horsepower and possess operating weights easily pushing 30 tons or more, giving them the crucial stability needed for safely lifting and maneuvering extremely heavy loads without tipping. Watch it effortlessly scoop up massive timbers, sometimes grabbing multiple smaller logs at once, then sorting and stacking them high like a meticulous lumberjack god, preparing his winter stockpile. Despite its immense size and weight, it moves with surprising agility and speed across the often rutted yard, efficiently organizing the fruits of the forest harvest. This machine is the absolutely critical link in the chain, the undisputed heavyweight champion ensuring everything flows smoothly and continuously from the forest extraction point to the waiting logging trucks. Absolutely breathtaking, raw, functional power in constant motion. But sometimes even the kings of the landing need to resort to pure, unadulterated brute force to overcome the terrain's stubborn challenges. Sometimes the terrain just flat out digs its heels in and says, "Nope, you ain't going nowhere easily today, pal." That's precisely when you call in the heavy artillery, the ground-shaking specialists, like this rugged, battle-scarred track bulldozer. Probably a classic Caterpillar D-Series, maybe a venerable D6 or D7, machines legendary throughout the industry for their incredible toughness and sheer pulling power. It has strategically dug its sharp steel cleats deep into this steep, treacherous, muddy hillside, effectively transforming itself into an immovable anchor point against the forces trying to pull it downhill. Now check out that thick, greasy steel cable stretching tautly down the slippery slope, securely attached to a monster log that clearly decided gravity was its best friend and absolutely refused to come quietly up the hill under its own power. From impressive solo power plays using integrated equipment, let's witness some creative teamwork born directly from absolute necessity. Now this right here is what I call pure, unadulterated backyard engineering meets sheer desperation on a muddy battlefield. Check out this heavily modified, almost skeletal-looking truck, piled ridiculously high with logs, seriously pushing the absolute limits of stability and common sense, attempting to conquer a muddy, rutted slope that looks more like a chocolate slip and slide after a rainstorm than any kind of functional road. But crucially, it's not fighting this uphill battle alone. Tethered securely by a heavy-duty winch cable, stretching taut across the muck, is a smaller but equally tough-looking agricultural tractor unit, providing the essential pulling power from a more stable position higher up the slope. Leaving the mechanized mudfest and its creative solutions behind, we journey across the globe to a place where human ingenuity and muscle take center stage. Hold on, you absolutely got to see this incredible spectacle. We've apparently jumped continents and landed deep in a dense, humid jungle where raw ingenuity runs wilder and more unchecked than the rapidly growing vegetation. Forget massive, multi-ton machines for just a second. Instead, witness this incredible display of pure, unyielding manpower combined with truly unique and perhaps questionable motorcycle modification. A dedicated team of loggers is physically wrestling enormous, heavy log sections onto this bizarre-looking contraption. It appears to be part standard motorbike, providing the engine and front wheel, fused with a custom welded rear frame, maybe reinforced with local bamboo or incredibly strong hardwood, creating a sort of three-wheeled log carrier. This is apparently their only viable means of transporting heavy timber out of this incredibly dense, pathless terrain where larger, conventional logging machines simply cannot operate or even reach. Feel the sheer physical strain radiating from the crew as they heave, lever, and grunt, somehow maneuvering these incredibly heavy logs into place balancing a load that looks precarious and top-heavy at best. From that example of small-scale ingenuity born of necessity, we return to the timeless classic confrontation, a skilled logger versus a truly giant tree. All right, let's swing back to the intense action deep in the jungle depths. Here, immersed in the humid green expanse where the air itself feels thick and heavy with moisture, a seasoned, focused logger squares off against a true titan of the forest, a colossal tree that's likely stood silently watching over this land for many generations. Armed with a seriously powerful professional-grade chainsaw, we're talking high-end steel or Husqvarna territory here, maybe an 80 or 90 cc, cubic centimeter, model spitting out tremendous torque and chain speed. He's meticulously and strategically carving into the immense girth of this ancient giant. Watch the practiced technique, clearly honed by years, maybe decades, of dangerous experience. The precisely angled face cut, also known as the undercut, carefully calculated to guide the direction of the inevitable fall, followed by that steady, determined back cut moving deliberately towards the critical hingewood. Sawdust flies like thick tropical rain as the razor-sharp chain bites deeper and deeper into the dense wood. From the raw, almost violent destruction of felling such a giant comes the constructive, value-adding process of creating usable fuel. From a massive forest giant likely destined for the sawmill to perfectly sized, fireplace-ready fuel. Now check out this awesome, highly efficient piece of heavy-duty kit, a bright green, trailer-mounted mobile firewood processor. This ingenious machine is an absolute workhorse, essentially a complete self-contained factory on wheels, specifically designed to turn raw, often awkwardly shaped logs into perfectly sized, ready-to-burn firewood, much faster and with far less manual labor than you can say past the marshmallows. Logs, often bucked into more manageable lengths beforehand by chainsaw, get loaded onto the machine's in-feed deck. Then integrated conveyors move them along systematically towards the automated cutting station. Here, a powerful saw, it could be a large, fast-spinning circular blade or a hefty, hydraulically powered integrated chainsaw bar, rapidly slices through the timber, cutting it into consistent, predetermined lengths set by the operator. Then, bam! Without missing a beat, the hydraulic splitter immediately takes over. We're talking serious splitting force here, often 20 to 30 tons, or even more depending on the model, driving a hardened steel wedge relentlessly through the log sections, cleaving them effortlessly into clean halves or quarters. Now, if the firewood processor is primarily about creation and adding value, our very next machine is all about pure, unadulterated vegetation destruction. Prepare yourselves for total, absolute vegetation annihilation. Meet the mighty ASV RT120, forestry compact track loader. And folks, let me tell you, this machine is an absolute beast, especially when equipped with that terrifying, purpose-built forestry mulching attachment mounted securely up front. This incredible combination doesn't just cut or trim, it utterly devours almost anything that dares stand in its path with ferocious intensity. Watch as it plunges headfirst into that dense, tangled thicket of small trees, thick brush, and heavy unwanted undergrowth. That high-speed rotating drum, armed with dozens of incredibly tough hardened steel or carbide teeth, spins at astonishing RPMs, shredding everything organic in its path down into fine, decomposing mulch in usually just a single pass. The RT120 track loader itself boasts a hefty 120 horsepower engine and ASV's legendary Posey track undercarriage system, which features multiple bogie wheels suspended independently, giving it insane traction across uneven surfaces and remarkably low ground pressure. But even the most powerful ground-shredding machines can sometimes meet their match when the very earth beneath them turns treacherous and uncooperative. Uh-oh, Houston, we have a serious problem. Looks like the forest decided to fight back, and fight back hard, turning solid ground into a sticky trap. This massive, imposing 8-wheeled red forwarder, likely a specialized high-capacity machine from a top-tier manufacturer like Ponce or Tiger Cat, built specifically with multiple driven axles to haul tons upon tons of timber through hell and high water, has unfortunately found itself in a world of hurt. It's seriously, deeply bogged down, practically swallowed whole, in what looks like a swampy, unforgiving nightmare of thick mud and hidden water. Just look how deep those enormous, specialized flotation tires, probably running super low air pressure, maybe 10 psi or even less for maximum ground contact area, are sunk completely helplessly in that thick, gooey, almost inescapable suction cup mud. It appears completely high-centered, belly resting on the muck, with all 8 wheels spinning uselessly, churning mud furiously but getting absolutely zero forward traction. But the skilled operator, trapped temporarily inside the comfortable air-conditioned cab, isn't giving up just yet. Watch him skillfully and patiently use that powerful, long-reach knuckle boom crane, strategically grabbing nearby branches, logs, anything solid he can reach, attempting painstakingly to build a makeshift base under the tires or perhaps clear a less treacherous path ahead. It's a desperate, slow, high-stakes game of swamp Jenga, played with incredibly expensive, multi-ton machinery. Can this mighty behemoth engineer its own escape using its onboard tools, or is it completely at the mercy of the swamp, requiring another machine for rescue? From a dramatic self-rescue using a winch, we witness another powerful machine wrestling heavy logs through equally treacherous jungle mud. Let's get ready to rumble. Deep in the jungle mud, brace yourselves for another raw, powerful display of heavy metal, might versus nature's obstacles. This time featuring a heavily modified Komatsu bulldozer that looks ready for war. Judging by the setup, particularly the large protective cage around the operator and the massive winch on the back, it looks like it's been configured as a dedicated log skidder, likely equipped not only with that massive rear winch for incredible pulling power, but possibly also a grapple arch, though it might be obscured by the logs or angle, for lifting the front end of the logs off the ground to significantly reduce drag during transport. This ain't your tidy, predictable suburban construction site, folks. This is a primal, muddy battle against thick, slick tropical mud, treacherous, unseen, tangled roots beneath the surface, and seriously heavy, dense hardwood timber that simply does not want to budge easily. Watch the skilled operator masterfully use the dozer's considerable weight, track power, and sometimes the angle of the front blade for added traction and steering. From challenging single machine struggles against the terrain, we now observe a cooperative effort tackling an intimidatingly steep slope. Whoa, get a load of this incredible, slightly terrifying, and definitely unconventional setup. We've got a determined tractor tag team tackling an unbelievably steep and sketchy-looking logging track that barely even qualifies as a proper road. It looks more like a goat path. Leading the charge uphill, straining visibly, is a tough-looking blue Iseki 6000 series tractor. These Japanese workhorses are well known in agricultural circles for being incredibly tough and reliable, probably packing around 60 horsepower in this particular class. But it is clearly straining under the immense, almost certainly overloaded weight of 2 massively overloaded log trailers hitched in tandem. Seriously, just look how high those logs are piled. Stability must be a constant, nerve-wracking concern for the operator. Following closely behind, providing either crucial backup power, a potential push if needed, or perhaps just patiently waiting its turn to haul its own load. Amidst all the roaring engines and heavy machinery, let's zoom back in to appreciate the essential, hands-on skill still required at ground level. Let's momentarily shift our focus and zoom right in on the absolutely essential groundwork that underpins all these massive mechanized logging operations. Amidst all the roaring diesel engines, spinning tracks, and clanking steel implements, there's still crucial, physically demanding, and highly skilled work being done meticulously and carefully by hand, often in potentially hazardous situations. Here we see a logger, properly geared up with essential personal protective equipment like sturdy chainsaw chaps and a protective helmet with face shield, but still facing an immense physical challenge, skillfully wielding his powerful professional chainsaw against the thick base of a giant fallen log. Notice he's not just randomly bucking it into simple firewood lengths. He's carefully and strategically sectioning the massive log right near the huge, tangled, dirt-encrusted root ball, likely preparing it for the skidder to grab more easily, or perhaps for further, more specialized processing down the line. The sharp saw chain bites deep into the dense wood, chips flying like wooden shrapnel, the engine's distinctive high-pitched scream echoing through the otherwise relatively quiet woods. He works with practiced, focused precision, constantly reading the tension and compression within the wood fibers. And finally, to wrap up this incredible journey through diverse logging operations, let's step firmly into the cutting-edge future of forestry, witnessing a system operating seamlessly and efficiently, even in the freezing cold embrace of a harsh winter landscape. This sophisticated high-tech setup prominently features a Komatsu C93 harvester head, a true marvel of complex mechanical and hydraulic engineering, likely mounted on an equally advanced and powerful Komatsu tracked carrier specifically designed for excellent stability and precise maneuverability in challenging, snow-covered terrain. Watch in awe as it precisely grabs a standing pine tree with its strong grapple arms. Zip! The integrated high-speed saw, located at the base, fells the tree in mere seconds with astonishing pinpoint accuracy, minimizing waste. Then the real technological magic happens right before your eyes. Powerful, spiked feed rollers integrated within the head pull the entire tree trunk rapidly through the processing unit, while razor-sharp, hydraulically actuated delimbing knives instantaneously strip away all the branches cleanly and efficiently. Wow, from deep mud rescues and incredible jungle ingenuity to high-tech harvesting in the snow, we really saw it all today. It's truly incredible to witness the raw power these machines possess and the amazing skill of the operators who pilot them through some of the toughest, most demanding conditions imaginable on Earth. It's absolute proof that when humanity needs to get a tough job done, we build the incredible tools required to conquer almost any challenge nature throws our way. Thanks so much for hanging out with us here on Techbeast TV. If you love seeing these metal monsters battling the elements, do us a huge solid and smash that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure. We've got plenty more awesome machine madness coming your way. Until next time, keep those engines roaring.